particular video we'll be studying a problem on a pentagonal prism. In the previous problem we have studied a square prism. We knew how to draw the beta angle, but here in this particular case it is a bit different. So we are studying a pentagonal prism without a beta angle. Okay, so now let us read the problem here. It says a pentagonal prism of base side 25 mm is resting on HP with one of its edges of the base, which is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. Draw the projections of the prism when the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degrees. So now you must understand here, again we are dividing the problem into three different segments. One is edge condition or corner condition. It is clear that it is edge condition given, right, because it says one of the it is resting on HP with one of its edges of the base. Clear? And second condition should always be with respect to HP. So what is inclined to HP? It is the axis inclined to HP. And what is inclined to VP? He says in the initial condition of the problem, he says that the edge that is resting on HP is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. So the same edge is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. So here clearly understand, axis is not inclined to both the planes. Axis is inclined to HP and the base edge is inclined to VP. That means to say it is not a beta angle problem. You do not worry about beta angle. Okay, right. So we'll straight away go with the problem now. So let me draw an XY line here. X, Y, VP, HP. It is very important to write this. Next, let us draw a pentagon here. So first let us draw a pentagon which is an edge condition here. So I'm going to take this 25 here, right? Now take 72 degrees on either side, which is an exterior angle as of now. Okay, so 72 I get somewhere here. Let's mark this. Place the protractor here, mark 72 in this direction. Okay, so simply draw a line which is a projection line initially, later we'll join this by a visible line. Okay, these points, right? Now measure 25 mm, draw an arc on either side and taking this as a center and this as a center, draw an arc. Okay, now let me join this. So let me name this A1, A, B1, B, C1, C, D1, D, E1, E. Now how to find out the center of this pentagon here? So take any corner, join the opposite midpoint of the line. Join the opposite midpoint of the line. Okay, take one more corner and join the opposite midpoint of the line. Okay, so I'm making this perpendicular here, that is what I'm doing, and move the scale, you'll get perpendicular bisector. Okay, I'm not connected till here, so my area of interest will be this. So this becomes the center. So let us name this as O1 in bracket O. Clear? Now project it upwards, which is very much easy for you to project onto XY line. So when I'm projecting this B, it exactly overlaps this point E, and similarly C to D and D to XY line. So projecting 3 lines will actually project 5 points here. Okay, very simple. So before that, let me dimension this. So drawing a perpendicular line to this and to this here, and dimension this. It is very much important. Dimension. Okay, now this should be 25. Right, so let us project upwards here. If I am projecting upwards, so this should be visible, this edge should be visible. So what is the height given? It is 60 again. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Draw a vertical line. Similarly on the other side, draw a height of 60 mm. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Now this edge, again you have to project this edge to a height of 60 mm. Right, so now axis line, you also have to project axis line. So what I'll do is I'll project axis line from O to XY line. I'll project it by projection line here. Next, I need to draw this line as a center line. One larger, one smaller line. That is how I'm going to draw. Right, that should be the axis line. So axis line, the thickness of the axis line is 0.15 mm. So it should be slightly thicker than the projection line, that's all. So let me complete this diagram. Yes, I've projected all the lines and just joined this. Okay. So let us name this. As I told, if I see in this direction, these 3 points are visible, these 2 are hidden. So it is A dash, here it is B dash, here it is C dash, D dash is invisible, so D dash in bracket, E dash is invisible, which is in bracket. Here O dash is invisible, which is in bracket. Same thing you can copy over here, which gives me A1 dash, B1 dash, E1 dash, O1 dash in bracket, C1 dash, D1 dash in bracket. Simple. So also dimension this line, particular line to the left here. So make some space over here such that it does not overlap on VP and HP here. Okay, leave sufficient space. So write it as 60. So 60. Clear? I hope it is very much clear for you. We'll go for the second condition now. We'll go for the second condition now. So here, second condition, again I need to incline this axis. When I incline this axis, some portion of this lies below XY line. So in order to avoid that, what I'll do is I'm going to incline this vertical line, which is parallel to these 3 lines now. So if I incline this line is also inclined to same angle here. So what is the angle that is inclined here? It is 40 degrees. So consider any point, arbitrary point here. I'm going to take this point, which is or this point, which is sufficient for me. So now what is the angle? It is 40 degrees. So I cannot use scale here for 40 degrees. So I use protractor, mark it as 40 here. Simply project the line, a very thin line. Okay. Initially you need to draw by a projection line, a very thin line. Later we'll darken this. Now a perpendicular line here. Correct. So project it perpendicular to it. Later we'll see. I've projected this. So now measure C dash to C1 dash 60. So cut an arc here. Okay, now from the same point measure this C dash to A dash. C dash to A dash, cut an arc. Okay, so rest everything you can erase. Right, so now the other things here on this particular line here is C dash to O dash first of all. So C dash to O dash. Next C dash to B dash. So these points are important. So I am doing it now itself. That's all. Clear? So now again perpendicular line here at this particular position, perpendicular, and draw a perpendicular line. Again here you can draw a perpendicular line, or you can use 90-degree using a protractor and complete the solution. Right, so this completes now. Similarly, what I'll do is I'm going to draw perpendicular lines on all the corners here, on all the arcs that I've drawn here. So first let me draw an axis line here. So again, perpendicular line. I need not draw arc here. I'm using a perpendicular line method. You can use set square for this. Right. So I'll draw the axis line. Let me complete the rest of the lines here. Right, so I've completed this. There is one more line that I have to draw, which using perpendicular line method. I'm going to draw this also. Okay, all the lines should be perpendicular to each other. Right, so let us name this. Copy down the same naming here. A dash, which is B dash, E dash, O dash. Here it is C dash, D dash. So it becomes C1 dash, D1 dash, O1 dash, B1 dash, D1 dash, and A1 dash here. Okay, simple, very simple. So this is the convenient space that I've left here. You can still draw towards left, or this is sufficient. Right, so let us project the bottom surface as we have done in the previous problem. So the procedure is same again. You have to repeat the procedure. It is tedious as I said, but it is interesting again at the same time. So let me project this B dash D dash. So I'm projecting E also to make it easy. Also project O here. Also project C. Okay, you can do smart work here, simply avoiding the projection, unnecessary projection outwards. You can erase then and there itself. So let us name this first. So which gives me A, B, C, D, E and O. Let us not worry about the hidden lines as I told in the previous problem. Now time to project the top surface. A to A. It should be a very thin line. That's it. Just follow the procedure. We'll end up with a neat diagram. So B to B, I'm also projecting E to E1 here. Okay, which makes it simple for me. So next project the point O also. Right, next D and O. Obviously I need to project O. This is O. Okay, let me name this. So this becomes A1, B1, C1, D1, E1 and O1. Okay, right. Now what is the next step? The next step is to, if I look in this direction, which is the farthest point. You have got 2 points here. So these two are the farthest point, that is the edge, because since the edge is resting, here also you get the edge. So these 2 points are hidden. So write these 2 points in bracket. In the previous problem there was only 1 point, so 1 point you wrote it in bracket. Now in this particular case, any line joining these points, in the previous problem I told any line joining that point. Here you have got 2 points, any line joining these 2 points is hidden. How to find this? So if I see the bottom surface here, this C to B is hidden, correct? As I told, each corner has 3 edges. So one edge is this, the second edge is C to D itself, correct? So C to D is hidden. Next C to C1 is hidden. It is hidden. Okay, right. So one corner is done. Second corner is D here. When I consider D, D to C is hidden, which is a common edge, so that I have already done. D to E is hidden. Okay. Next D to D1, the vertical edge. I call this as vertical edge. This is hidden. Simple. Rest all the lines are visible, simply join by a visible line. Right. So again, see, I am repeating the procedure here, nothing else. So all the straight edges should also be connected. So A to A1 is visible, E to E1 is visible, right? So now connect the top surface. Top surface is completely visible. As I can see from the top surface is completely visible. So B to C1, C to D1, D1 to E1, E1 to E1. Correct. Now if I am drawing the axis line here, from O to O1 I am supposed to draw. But here it is a visible line. Only from here you can draw the axis line. Only from here you can draw the axis line this much. Rest everything is visible. Right. So here if I see from here, top surface is completely visible, bottom surface is hidden. So this O1 should be hidden here, or O is hidden here. So this should be hidden. As I said, in almost all the cases this is hidden. Right. This completes the second condition. We'll move on to the third condition now. Third condition he says the VP or the edge that is resting on HP is inclined to VP at 30 degrees. 30 degrees. So what I told is, take this object and rotate in such a way that this bottom surface is nearer to the observer. This bottom surface should come here. Right. So this bottom surface should come here. Okay. Right. So bottom surface should come here. So rotate. So I need to draw a line this way. So I'm going to take some arbitrary point here. I take this as the arbitrary point and draw 30 degree line in this direction. So this becomes 30 degree. So simply project this. Okay. Now this angle will be 30 degrees. So which means to say it is 30 degrees to XY line also. Right. So I had to project this axis line here. I had to project this axis line and give the angle as 40 degrees. That is what I have taken. That is 40 degrees. Right. Now obtain all the points now. Right. So obtain all the points. So first mark C and D here. C and D. So take any arbitrary point here, and cut an arc. Okay. Right. So you need to name this properly. If I take this way, this becomes D. This becomes C. Using these 2 points, we'll find out the rest. So first we'll take up C to A. From D to A, it is same. Okay. So C to A, cut an arc. From D to A, cut an arc. Okay. Next, C to B. I'm going with the chronological order. C to B is somewhere here. Right. So again, D to E it is same. So I'm going to use the same dimension here and draw the arc somewhere here. Okay. Right. So now C to E. Right. So let me connect that later. So D to B is same. So D to B. I want to get somewhere here. So now D to this point I need to draw properly. That's all. Right. So I've got this. So again, you can also find out C to O. We'll not do that at this particular time. So let's connect this, or let us name this first. So this gives me A, B, C, D, E. Let us see O later. Okay. Right. So let me join this. A to E, A to B by a visible line, A to B by a visible line. B to C is hidden. B to C is hidden. Right? C to D is hidden. D to E is hidden. Okay, right? So next, we'll place this scale perpendicular to this particular line here, 30 degrees, and start moving this to A till it meets this point A here. Okay, now simply draw a projection line in this way. Okay, you can extend till wherever you require. Okay, right? Why? Because I get 4 points in this line. So I take A here, A to O. I'll cut an arc to get O here. That's all. Okay. Next, A to A1. So I'm going to get here. So A to A1 somewhere here. Next, A to O1. A to O1. So A to O1. Let us name this. So this becomes O, this becomes A1, this becomes O1. Right? So we'll find out the rest here. So again, I'll be using this point C and D here. Okay. So C to B, or you can simply draw a perpendicular line. So it is C to B1. So I'm drawing C to B1. I'm going to get somewhere here. Okay. Let me see. Next, C to B1, C to C1. C to C1, C to C1, a perpendicular line here. Next, D to B1 I'm going to take, D to B1. So D to B1 I'm going to get it here. Next, D to C1 I'm taking. Okay, D to C1, somewhere here I'm going to get. Similarly, rest of the points you can find out. C to D1, C to D1 here. Next, C to E1, C to E1 somewhere here. Next, D to D1, D to D1, yes, I'm getting here. Next, D to E1, D to E1 I'm getting here. Right, so I've found out this top surface here. So now let me join this. So before joining, let me name this. So this becomes B1, C1, D1 and E1. So let me join all the points here. So now it is a visible line. So be careful in joining this and obtaining this. Okay, just follow the basics. You will end up with a very decent solution. See, found out the top and bottom surface here. I also have to join this vertical lines here. So copy the same lines what you have done in the second condition. Okay. Right. So this is how you get the third condition. I mean the top view here, the final top view here. Okay. So which is neat. Right. So now it is very simple. The next step, you just project upwards. That is what you are going to do. Correct. So let us project this upwards. First let us project the bottom surface. Be very careful in projecting the bottom surface always, or the third condition here. Okay. Not make any mistakes because you have a lot of lines to project. Take your time and complete this. A. Now B. Make it vertical, that's all. Do not worry whether it is overlapping onto any of the lines. There are chances of making mistakes here. That is why I always suggest you to project then and there itself. Okay, please do not extend the lines simply. Next, C, which is beside this point. So C is on XY line. So it is on XY line. D is also on XY line. E somewhere here, right? and also project O, very much important. I'm going to get somewhere O somewhere here. Correct. So before continuing, just name it, otherwise it will be confusing for you. So A is here, which becomes A dash. So B is here, it is B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash, and this becomes O dash. Okay, now project the top surface. Again, starting from the chronological order, it seems that D is overlapping. That is okay here. It is not overlapping exactly, it is slightly differing there, that's all. B. Next we'll go for C. It is slightly towards the right of that particular point. So there is a tendency of inclining this line, but draw it vertically. So next D, simply project upwards, where you are going to get D, and E. Here. Okay. D, that is D is here, and E should be somewhere here. Okay, right. So I had done a mistake, I guess. Here it should be B dash and E dash. I've done this vertically, I've done this properly here. Here it is E dash, right? So that naming was changed, right? So now this becomes E dash here. So let us name this very carefully. A1 dash. Now this is B1 dash. This is C1 dash. D1 dash. It is not here. It is D1 dash is here, and this becomes E1 dash. Okay. Also project O here. It is O1 dash. Now, as I said, since if I look in this direction, the bottom surface is completely visible. Make the bottom surface completely visible. A dash to B dash, B dash to C dash, C dash to D dash, D dash to E dash, and E dash to A dash. Right. Now the outer boundary. Now this is the outer boundary. C dash to C1 dash, to B1 dash, to A1 dash here, right, and A1 dash to E1 dash, and E1 dash to E dash here. This is the outer boundary, right? So I've joined all the outer boundaries here. Next, it is very simple. You know that how to find the rest of the points here. In a pentagon, if I consider A1 dash to A dash, it is not passing inside this lamina. As in case of previous problem, you know that this line is not passing inside this lamina. So join this by a visible line. Next, B1 dash to B dash is passing outside, so it should be a visible line. C1 dash to C dash, C1 dash to C dash, it is visible. D1 dash to D dash, it is passing inside this lamina, so make it hidden. Make it hidden. Right? So this should be in bracket. This point should be in bracket, this junction. Right? Now D1 dash to E1 dash is hidden because any line joining this line is also hidden. Simple. So now D1 dash to C1 dash is hidden because this corner has 3 edges. So that completes. So now let us project the axis line here. So from O1 dash to O dash here, you get slight eccentricity here. so that you need to draw it here. This is okay, this should be okay, which is slightly different. So see, don't assume that this two lines will be overlapping, it is a bit different, okay, right? So this completes the solution. I hope you have understood how to draw a pentagonal prism. Okay, in the next session we'll be learning about an hexagonal prism, and we'll be solving 3 more problems on this particular prism, and we'll move on to pyramids later. Thank you for watching the video.